Let me ask you, have you ever set a goal for yourself, like getting back into shape or starting a new workout routine, only to fall off track a few days later? Yeah, I've been there, you've been there, we've all been there. But here's the thing, you don't have to do it alone. In chapter 17 of Atomic Habits, James Clear breaks down why having an accountability partner can make all the difference. And if you're busy and you're tired and you're struggling to stay consistent with your goals, this one simple shift could be the key to finally making those healthy habits stick. Today, we're diving into why accountability is so powerful, how it can help you stay on track, and why it's such a great strategy for us moms who are juggling a million things. We are juggling so many different things. Let's get on track and let's talk about how you can bring this strategy into your life and start seeing a real lasting change. Are you ready? Let's go.
Are you finding it hard to keep up with the demands of motherhood because your energy is always low? Is your weak core holding you back from feeling strong and confident in your postpartum journey? Do you avoid looking in the mirror because you're not happy with what you see? Hey mama, welcome to the Fit Postpartum Mom podcast, where you'll learn how to reclaim your energy, strengthen your body after pregnancy, and finally say goodbye to the postpartum pooch in less time. Hi, I'm Dr. Jena, but you can call me Jena, and I'm a physical therapist, wife, and mom of 4 girls who has cracked the code on how to strengthen your core postpartum in the easiest and safest way possible. I too struggled with my postpartum fitness journey as a new mom, but now I'm stronger than ever, and I'm here to help you do the same without the stress, exhaustion, or struggle. If you're ready to fit fitness into your busy schedule while you navigate your postpartum journey and stay motivated along the way, then you're in the right place. It's all about progress, not perfection, and I'm here to help walk you through that journey to feeling strong, confident, and energized. That energy comes from within, not your coffee. Let's roll out that yoga mat, girl. It's time to do this.
Hey there, mama. Are you struggling to get rid of the postpartum pooch or feeling like your core will never be strong again? Does the thought of squeezing in a workout feel impossible with the demands of motherhood? Like, you don't have time. You have no time to work out. Trust me, you're not alone. So many moms feel overwhelmed and exhausted and unsure of where to start. And that's exactly why I created Postpartum Ab Rehab. In just 10 minutes a day, this program helps you flatten your stomach, rebuild your core strength, and feel more confident in your body without spending hours working out or without guessing on what's safe and what you can do to lose the postpartum pooch. You don't have to guess anymore. So if you are ready to follow a program that is strategically mapped out by me, a physical therapist that knows what exercises are the safest and the most effective, come join me in Postpartum Ab Rehab. Go to livecorestrong.com/program. Don't wait any longer to feel stronger and more energized. Head on over to livecorestrong.com/program right now to join Postpartum Ab Rehab and start your journey towards a flatter, stronger core today. All right, are you ready to learn all about chapter 17 of the book Atomic Habits by James Clear? Well, he titled this, How an Accountability Partner Can Change Everything. All right, so we know we're talking about accountability partners today, but he starts off by talking about how you can create an unsatisfying response to get these bad habits to stop. Okay, so let's switch gears. Before we talk about the accountability partner aspect of things, he's talking about unsatisfying consequences to bad behavior. Okay, so immediately I think about like toddlers and our little elementary school kids, if you have any, how we give them consequences for bad behavior sometimes, right? Well, we're going to be giving ourselves some consequences for stopping these bad habits that we're doing in order for us to achieve our healthy habits, in order for us to achieve healthy goals. That's what this chapter is all about. So we're going to make this thing an immediately unsatisfying response, okay? You're more likely to avoid an experience if it is unsatisfying or painful. So there's so many examples of this in our everyday lives, like speeding. Okay, so when we're speeding on the highway, we're going, let's just say you're going 15, 20 miles an hour faster than you're supposed to. yes, the policeman is going to pull you over and give you a ticket. And you're going to have to pay, pay the ticket for what you did. That was a negative, unsatisfying response to bad behavior. So are you likely to be speeding on that road again? Probably not. So you can see how when you get that negative, that unsatisfying behavior that follows quickly after you do something bad, you're less likely to do it again. If a failure is painful, it gets fixed, right? If a failure is painless, it gets ignored. So if we do something bad and no one sees us doing this bad thing, or no one gives us, a fine or a fee for doing this bad thing, we're most likely going to do it again. So think about all the times that you were speeding and you didn't get caught by the policeman. Are you going to keep speeding in that area because you're like, oh, there's no policeman around here? Yes, you're going to keep speeding because you're not getting caught. So that's why we need to be really mindful of, what is a consequence for this bad behavior, and making sure that the consequence is immediate. We respond faster to a consequence that is immediate. Getting that ticket from the policeman comes immediately. But if they just send you something in the mail, right? Have you ever gotten caught speeding just from the cameras, and then 2 weeks later you get something in the mail that you were speeding in that area? It's like you got caught, but you didn't get caught right away, and it's not as painful as it was if you got pulled over by a policeman. So we want these consequences, these unsatisfying stimuli, to be immediate. And we're going to use this to our advantage in order to create these healthy habits. James Clear says adding an instant cost to that certain action is going to help you avoid that bad behavior. So yeah, we're trying to avoid the bad behavior of maybe overeating or sleeping in too late or skipping the workouts. These are the things that we want to avoid occurring in our lives, and we want to instead have accountability for doing the things that we want to do. Okay, the best result is when you increase the speed of the punishment. So we already talked about that. That's crucial. You want the punishment to be immediate. Okay, so this is James Clear here. He's talking about this, and it works. He has examples of how this works. Another example that came to mind when I was reading this chapter is about having guests over for like a dinner date. Let's say you cooked this amazing meal, and then you notice that no one's eating your food, or they're leaving extra food on their plates, and you're just noticing that no one's really complimenting you. So those are like the immediate negative punishment feelings that you're going to get when you're having a dinner date, and you're going to realize, okay, this was not the best thing to cook for these guests. Like, they didn't like this kind of food, and I'm not going to repeat making this recipe again. So that's like an immediate response to, doing something, and then you see that your guests aren't liking it. The food is just all still there. People aren't complimenting you, and you're less likely to make that food again, right? So you can see how these like negative responses can really play a big role in the decisions that we make. And so let's take advantage of this, this psychological factor here, and let's use it to our advantage to create these healthy habits and eliminate the bad habits. All right, so let's take this another step further. We're going to talk about contracts. So this chapter, James Clear talks about this one man who created a contract for himself. And when we think about contracts, we think about like government contracts and laws, and how there's all these laws out there that if we don't follow this contract, we're going to get punished, and we're going to get fined, and we're going to get fees. So this man created a contract for himself to stay accountable so that he could lose weight. He was overweight, and he's like, I'm done. I need to lose this weight, and I need to take this seriously. So I'm going to create a contract for myself. And in the contract, he created consequences for himself. If he didn't follow the rules that he set in his contract, he has to pay a fine. He has to pay a fee to his personal trainer, and he ended up including his wife, and he would pay his wife some money, and that she could do whatever she wanted with that money, go shopping, do whatever, if he did not follow his own contract that he created for himself. So yes, we are talking about accountability partners, but we're also talking about these contracts and these consequences if we don't follow through with what we said we were going to do. So we have our reputation, at stake here, is that we say that we're going to work out, and we say that we're going to lose the weight, but who's keeping us accountable? And if you have a contract in place with your accountability partner, with maybe your spouse or your best friend or your mom, someone who is really going to hold you accountable to this contract, you are more likely to achieve your goal. So this man in this example in the book had a goal of losing weight. So he created 3 phases in his contract, and these 3 phases were very strategically mapped out so that he could achieve his weight loss goals. And in those 3 phases, I guess, he had a roadmap of what he's going to do in each of those phases. And the roadmap was very clear and detailed on how he's going to track his food intake and he's going to weigh himself. And those 2 things were the important things that he wanted to do in order to lose weight consistently and for a longer period of time. So he created this contract, printed it, had his wife and his personal trainer sign it, and then in the contract, he wrote out consequences if he did not do the thing that he said he was going to do on that day. So he would have to pay his personal trainer $200 if he didn't track his food the previous day. And I forget what else he said, but if he skipped doing something for a period of time, he was going to pay his wife $500. So of course, he doesn't want to have to pay out all this money. So he's going to stay accountable to what he said he was going to do. And he doesn't want to look like a lazy person. He has his reputation at line. He wants to stay true to his word and keep his promises. So when you go that extra step and create a written contract and include people that are going to hold you accountable, and you include some kind of punishment for yourself that you definitely don't want to do, and that punishment is an immediate punishment, meaning like he has to give out that money that day, the day after he doesn't fulfill his contract. Those are all things that are going to help us stay more accountable. So as I'm saying all this, are you starting to think about a contract that you could create? Are you starting to think about who's the person who's going to sign this contract with you? What are you going to do to consistently start working out as a new mom? So let's not make this contract so severe where it's impossible for you to fulfill, but let's make a contract that is achievable. So if you are looking to lose 20 pounds in, let's say, 6 months, let's write that out and let's create 2 or 3 phases in your contract for you to do that. Are you going to include 3 workouts a day and the workouts are going to be 20 minutes long? Are you going to track your food on an app just like this person in the book did? What are you going to do to consistently lose weight or to consistently have good workout habits? What is your goal and what do you need to do in order to get there? So take some time today. That is your homework, to map out a contract. It is so simple. The contract could be a 1-page contract. So simple. You would just list out what is your main objective. If you don't follow through with that, what is the consequence? And who will you report to? Maybe you can put some times, like every day I'm going to report to this person, or once a week. And then you're going to have lines for your signatures and the date. So really simple contract. I highly recommend trying this if you are serious about sticking to your goals, creating healthy habits around fitness. This is a great way to just take it up a notch. So in summary, knowing that someone is watching can be a powerful motivator. We know this. Just have that accountability person that's going to be watching you, looking over you. You're going to be so much more motivated. You're less likely to procrastinate or give up when you have an accountability partner. And you don't want to be seen as an untrustworthy or lazy person. So that's why we create contracts, so that we can stay true to our word. And we are more likely not to repeat a bad habit if it is painful or unsatisfying. So create a really, really painful consequence for your behavior if you don't follow through with what you said you were going to do. Well, I would love for you to listen in to episode 15, where we talk about the perfect accountability workout partner for moms. Definitely check that one out, and go back all the way to episode 61 if you want to start at the beginning of our Atomic Habits series, where I am reviewing each chapter by chapter, through all of my odd episodes from episode 61 all the way to this one. So I hope you continue to come back and listen in to the Fit Postpartum Mom podcast, where we are keeping you motivated and excited to work out as a new mom. Thanks for coming, and remember to always live core strong.
Hey mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts? It would bring me so much joy. Simply scroll down to the stars and click write a review. Your review will help more women discover our podcast. Let's grow this fit mom movement together. And if you want your friends to come alongside you on this postpartum fitness journey, invite them to our free Facebook group where you can get motivated together. Community is key to success, and that's what I want for you. So join ours by going to the link in the show notes, and before you know it, the baby weight will be falling off as quickly as those stinky diapers. I can't wait to see you on the next episode of the Fit Postpartum Mom Podcast.